Hello, everyone. This is another market moment with Randy Williams Gurian. Hey, thanks for tuning in today. It's Friday, June 11th, and the market is actually the S&P reached a record close yesterday. So the market is still going up. It's still a bull market. We are seeing kind of an interesting event though in the market, which is interest rates on the 10-year Treasury, U.S. Treasury, have been drifting back down. And there's so much inflation in the system that it's surprising that rates are not responding. And I think people are confused. And so many people had thought that, except for the Fed chair, that rates were going up and that because of inflation. And the Fed chair has said that, Jerome Powell thinks the inflation is transitory. He might be right. I think he might be right on some of that. But I think there is some inflation pressures in the system, and he eventually will need to raise interest rates, and the market will need to adjust. Some of that could happen just by them stopping the bond buying they're doing, which he has said that he's going to do, sometime soon. And if that happens, we could see a spike in the interest rates, so mortgage rates would go up, and then the Fed might start raising rates. But right now, with the 10-year back down, one has to wonder, are rates really going to, spike up to 2.5%, 3%? I would argue that I think there's a lot of debt in the system, and that might be why it's hard for U.S. rates to get that high, especially when rates globally are, in some cases, still negative in Germany. Japan's basically zero interest rates. So that would be very hard because the dollar would go up. And so on a global basis, higher rates aren't necessarily good either for the US. So anyway, I think what that means is maybe people come back to growth stocks. And so the large cap technology names that have been sort of thrown in the wastebasket for the last 3 or 4 months, actually, when they report earnings here in July, people might find them interesting again, or maybe it's going to take till October. But we'll see. This value trade has worked out. The S&P is at a record close. The S&P is going to include both value and growth names. So owning that is kind of a hedge both ways. So that's something you can think about. And we're glad you tuned in today, and I hope you enjoyed this market moment, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks.